Friends, you are not going to believe how productive we are going to be over the next roughly 25 minutes. I want to say hi to my friends in the chat. Of course, we see Ryan. Ryan, that was a great show, by the way. I was very tuned in learning how to make that great little Halloween design. I see Robert. I see Oliver. I see King Graphics. I think this is truly now a party. We're going to talk all about Pinterest today. Pinterest, you say? Pinterest, yes, I say. And here's why we're going to talk about it. This, by the way, is the remixable template that you're going to find in the link in the description of this YouTube video. Let me tell you why we are talking about Pinterest today. I'm not nearly creative enough to have all these great like Halloween design tutorials this month, but you know you can count on me when it comes to branding, social media, AI. This month we've used AI tools like ChatGPT paired with Adobe Express to supercharge our marketing. Today, I want to talk about a social media platform that does not get included in enough conversations. Look at my screen. These are my 3 priority social media platforms. Friends, by the way, let me know in the chat if you're here with us live. Hey, Vandal, let me know, do you actively post on Pinterest? Yes or no? I'm just doing a little bit of a poll. I'm curious to know. What I'm showing you on screen are my 3 priority platforms. We have Instagram. I spend about 8 hours a month creating for Instagram. That reaches, on average, about 70,000 accounts. YouTube, oh, I love it. But you know what? Twice that amount of creation time is, if you create on YouTube, not live streaming, that tends to be easier, but actually creating a YouTube video, shooting it, scripting it, editing it, creating a thumbnail, posting it, doing the chapters, like it takes a fair amount of time. I've got a team that helps me, but still 16 hours of my time every month to reach about 74,000. Now look at this last column, and this is why we do not ignore Pinterest. This number bounces up and down, but last month I was 3.5 million impressions on a handful of pins, some that I created recently in Adobe Express, some that I created ages ago in Adobe Express. I spend less than 1 hour a week on Pinterest. Let's swipe over to my Pinterest profile. This is what we're going to be creating today. And this is the case that I am making for you, a designer, a creative pro, an entrepreneur, a consultant, a coach, whatever you are, friends. Adobe Express, you're likely already hopping in here potentially for quick actions, to make some animations on projects that you've made in Photoshop, Illustrator, now InDesign, Lightroom, anyone? What I would love for you to do, my one takeaway for you today is to understand how easy it is to show up on the only social media platform that is designed to take you elsewhere. When I look at my website analytics, okay, I can see that Pinterest is one of the top referrers of traffic to my website, okay? Because, let's go back over to Pinterest. This is the only social media platform that is designed to send you elsewhere. Can I get an amen, chat? Yes, I can. Every other platform, YouTube, Instagram, they make it as difficult as possible to send people off the platform because they make money when you are on the platform in the form of advertising. But Pinterest says, hey, we know there's great content online. In fact, people come to this platform to find it, get inspiration, be it workout, recipe, Halloween costumes, anyone? This is the best platform to show up in a very little amount of time as a designer, as a creative, as an entrepreneur. And so what I'm showing you on screen, once again, are a sampling of the types of pins that I create in literal minutes. Better yet, if you're better at delegating than me, you can hand this off to someone who works with you if you're busy to help you rank and show up for the kinds of content, I should say, that you work very hard to create. So what we're going to do today is we're not just going to create Pinterest pins. You're going to create them using my templates, but I'm going to show you exactly how I want you using this so that Pinterest is on your priority list, but it's not something that's going to weigh you down or add a ton of time and stress and pressure to your already very busy existing to-do list. So When we talk about content workflow, I promise, by the way, we will get to some templates. They're coming up after this, and they look like this little preview. Cuties. When we talk about Pinterest, I'm going to show you my content workflow. It's changed a little bit since I made this graphic, but here's generally what I do. I start with a podcast. A podcast is where, like, it's great if people listen to it, but I almost don't even care because it's where I'm able to mine so much goodness from a simple conversation, be it with a co-host, be it with a guest that I invite, right? Even guesting on other people's podcasts can be a great focus for you when you're trying to grow your brand and exposure. So from the podcast, which by the way, even when I'm guesting on someone else's podcast, I record my voice locally. I can then transcribe that audio of my answers only in a free tool like Descript, get the transcription, throw it into ChatGPT and say, hey, this was in, here are my interview answers. Help me distill this down to the most compelling points that I make. I'll turn them into Instagram carousels. We talked about that on the week before last week challenge. And I want these answers to incorporate this into positioning my brand. That was the first challenge we did together this month, all in Adobe Express. Start with the podcast. Then from that conversation, I'm able to quickly now, quicker than ever before, turn that into a blog post, which can then become a video when I do a YouTube video, intro, middle, outro, or call to action, 3 to 5 points in the middle that I want to make. You see the flow here? So with one single tidbit of a conversation, that can become a blog. Use AI to expand on that. That can then become a video that I deliver to camera, just like this, 3 to 5 points you want to make, that it becomes an Instagram post. Where we talked about all of this, pull in an image. Basically, it's the same content that you can just re-visualize with a tool like Adobe Express. We've got the ability to resize. I showcased this last week. Not only resize, by the way, but also expand. Friends, try this. You have not tried this yet. This is so cool. You basically need your slide, whatever your project canvas is, you need an image to go either side to side or top to bottom, one or the other. And this expand feature will be enabled. And you can try that to basically use generative AI to fill in the top or the bottom. You're no longer constrained with just the size of an image. So once I make an Instagram post, then I move into Pinterest pins. And I must emphasize, this is what takes by far the least amount of time in my content workflow, less than an hour per month. Friends in the chat, do we have an hour per month? Per month, not per week, per month to show up on Instagram. Ryan is mocking me because I said cuties. Are you? Did I say that? I can't remember. It's been a long day. Amen. Good, Ryan. You're part of this. You're part of this church. Yes, you are. Ray says, Phil is our express master. You are right, Ray. I will officially accept that unofficial title, but it's because I believe so much in Express, not only for creative pros, people that are using Photoshop, Illustrator, and InDesign to create things, but then we need to do things quickly in Express, either for ourselves or for our clients. I was in Orlando last week. That's where I live. That's where I am now. I was talking with business owners and corporations and enterprises, and people were so excited about the use of Express and how this becomes a creative hub for so many organizations. Where really, I mean, this thing has come far, my friends. It's come very far in the last few years. When we're trying to measure our success, I like some analytics, like some numbers to justify what we're putting energy into. These are the 3 things that you want to focus on, okay? With a Pinterest pin, impressions. So obviously, total number of people that see it. Or I should say the total number of times that it is seen. That's what it is. Saves. So we can measure this just like we can on Instagram. The total number of people that save our content, as well as link clicks. Okay, link clicks, number of people that click our link. So one of the great things about Pinterest is the analytics. I would say that the analytics on Pinterest are even better than they are on Instagram. YouTube, they're pretty good, but I would say Pinterest wins the award for analytics. So just kind of feeding to the reasons why you might incorporate this into your flow. Pinterest analytics is almost like looking at your Google Analytics dashboard. There's so much insight. Now, friends, when it comes to creating pins for your content, it could be video content, it could be blog posts, it could be your artwork, it could be your houses for sale if you're a realtor. Whatever it is, think about what you can create and what you can create quickly and how you can show up in a way that still feels authentic and branded to you. And so I have made this really easy for myself over the years. I've created just a handful of templates, rather. So when you go over here, you'll see sometimes I've got an image I can use. I made this actually in Adobe Express using the mockup feature or the brand kit, I think it's called. There's all kinds of now add-ons in Express that will help you do mockups really well. Something like this. This is what we're going to work on right now. Like it's literally text with my logo at the bottom. Okay. Very simple. So I put the effort into a YouTube video that talks about 25 ChatGPT prompts for business owners rather than just like writing that, scripting it, reading it, putting it in a YouTube video. I've already got them written out, pasted into a Pinterest pin in Express and popped that puppy up on Pinterest, my friends, because again, Pinterest is the only social media platform that is designed to take people off the platform. So you're seeing my templates in action. I'm literally handing those over to you today. I would love for you to take these and make them your own. I'm hoping for the people that want brownie points, you've already set up your brands in Express, okay? If you want brownie points, you should set up your brand in Express. I have set up my brand. It looks something like this. If this was not my brand, I might click this, apply brand, single click. Can I get an amen for the people that used Adobe Spark back in the day and we had this feature and then it went away, which made a lot of people sad? Well, guess what? You can smile again because have a look at this gear wheel. Not only can we single click apply brand to an existing template or design in Express, but we can click that gear wheel. We can now apply to all pages. How handy is that if you've got a PDF, a brochure, a resume that spans more than one page? Also apply colors and fonts. And if I had a graphic in here, minus what's the term for it? Like trees and foliage and stuff like that, that doesn't get recolored, but any other graphic can get recolored based on those brand colors. So try these features out. You might go, I think it was Ray. Ray called me Ray called me the Express Master. How am I the Express Master? Because I try these features. Even if I don't know what they do, I click them, I figure it out, and then I share them with you. So take my templates. I'm hoping that I've saved you some time today by at least creating these 3 templates that are all different. I'll explain what they are, and then we're going to get to designing some. What I would love for you to do is try the new and improved, we should call it, apply brand button, which is going to appear when you open your brand in Express. So how about just for an example, why don't I'm going to open a different brand. Let's take Frescopa, which made its debut on the Adobe stage at the Design Made Easy event earlier this year. This brand I designed for Adobe to showcase, look at all these, to showcase enterprise clients in Express. I kind of like that. So what it's doing is taking the fonts, the colors. Obviously, this is an image. That's a PNG, so I would need to delete that and manually post. The logo, let's do that. So with the apply brand, what I like is if you don't like the way that it's colored, then just toggle through until you land on something that you do like. I did not plan on just designing one of these on the fly, but welcome to Adobe Live, where we just truly, really go with the flow. I'm going to click this brand right here. I'm going to recolor this. Remember too that when you're setting up your brand in Express, you can define your header and body font. And it's a good idea to do that. You really should have those things decided on for your personal brand or your company brand. I don't want this frame to move, so I'm going to right click that and lock. I'm also going to lock this logo into place once it's centered, looking good. Whole thing being, you don't have to fuss around with this being a super custom design. All I'm asking for you is to start with a template, take this, customize it, and just stick with it so that you can create this in quite literally 30 seconds is what I'm asking you for. So this is looking good. Obviously, it wouldn't be about LinkedIn. The best iced tea recipes. Okay. If I want to jazz this up with some branded elements, I can. Not only can we have the brand with our logos, colors, and fonts, but as I scroll down, we go into assets and I could pull some iced tea. That looks like iced tea to me. Again, these are templates that I just made for you so that it makes content creation really, really simple. So, by the way, in this case, I'm actually going to unlock that and bring that layer to the top. There we go. Unlock. Let's bring it to the top so this iced tea can sit right behind. Or maybe we'll do it down here. You know what I mean? We'll come up with something cool. Hold on. I'm actually going to move this down. You know that in Express, even if you're new here, if you're used to layers in other Adobe apps, then you will feel very at home here. And let's maybe make these white, light, and then I could even set as page background. Do you see how easy that was? Like, obviously I have to change the logo color, but I'm just kind of showing you how we can work with existing assets. I actually, and you're not going to believe me when I say this, I sometimes set a timer. I'm like, Phil, you have 15 minutes in between calls, make 3 Pinterest pins. And whatever you make at the end of 15 minutes is what gets posted on Pinterest. Okay. So you can see, like, a lot of these are really just text based, sometimes graphic based. When I don't have an image, like myself, like sometimes I do have brand photography back before I had as much gray hair as I have now. But I keep it cut short so you don't notice. I just pull a stock photo. Remember that in Adobe Express, we click over to media and you have literally all kinds of fonts. Sorry, fonts. You have all kinds of photos. Even if you're using Adobe Express free, you have limited, but still lots of Adobe royalty free stock photo collection from Adobe Stock. So we're talking primarily right now about static images on Pinterest. That's primarily what I do. But one of my goals over the next few months is to get into video pins, idea pins, they're called. We'll talk about that in a second if we have time. What I'm wanting you to do is like remix the templates that I'm giving you, make them your own brand. That is really ugly. And so I'm just going to go back to brands and I'm going to just, that's better. Oof, that was hideous. Apply brand. Sometimes gets it and sometimes it doesn't. This little guy right here is an icon. Where do we get icons in Express? Thank you for asking. Let me show you. Click over to Elements, over on Icons, and we could do, let's see what we get when we get LinkedIn. Maybe some briefcases. Okay, some light bulbs. Briefcase, we already did that one. You get the idea. If we were going to go with T, I kind of like the idea of using this brand. So here we would go, change the icon. Yes, on Adobe Live, sometimes I sit here and have conversations with myself, but I can also have conversations with you as I check the chat. Clever says, I don't want iced tea. Iced. Oops. Yes, I had a typo. When you're so focused on design, sometimes you forget that. Sometimes you forget to read. Okay. Have I redeemed myself? Have I redeemed myself? I certainly hope I have. Whole point of this, friends, is that we don't want to overthink this. We don't want to go, oh my gosh, I have to make Pinterest pins. It's going to take me 4 hours today, because you don't have 4 hours. So we're going to go iced tea. And I showed you an example where I pulled it from a library or from a brand. This looks nice. That yellow is adding a pop that I really, really like to this design. Okay. Love it. Little snippet there. Just work with the space you have and do not overthink it. Best iced tea recipes. By the way, you can experiment a little bit with the copy that you use. I will sometimes think of this as almost like A/B testing different pin designs. I don't know what's going to work well, but I could certainly go over to ChatGPT and say, hey, here's the header I'm thinking for my Pinterest pins. Can you give me 10 variations and rank them in order, in the order that you suggest? I always like to make the AI work a little hard for it. What I often do, friends, is I include text on the pin. Might lower this a little bit, but like, why not, especially if it's small, why not include the link to your blog, maybe a keyword related to your brand? In this day and age, AI knows what your image is about. I'm talking Instagram, I'm talking Google Images, really, like, this is why hashtags have kind of been phased out a little bit. We don't need to tell platforms like Instagram what your image is about. It already knows. It's almost 2025. However, for something like Pinterest, I think if you can have it small and you can have it subtle, then it's almost, yes, it's good because Pinterest, it can actually lift and read and interpret text from an image, but it's not a bad idea for your own branding to just kind of have that if there's room for it. Okay. I'm making a whole mess of these today, but that's okay because I clicked apply brand and totally changed my templates. But if you want to see how they looked originally and then you can apply your own brand, the link once again is in the description below. This was literally a stock photo that I pulled. So this was obviously, I'm going to need to change that image. Let's do, well, we like tea, don't we? We like tea. So I can pop that in, replace background, adjust the crop. Let's go. Like this is looking cute, cute, cute. Okay. Not obviously going to be LinkedIn. This is going to be iced tea recipes for summer. And then we can move this 3. This is really mostly demonstrative for you today. What I want you to have is something just as a starting point, right? So there we go. That was literally a few minutes where we made 3 pins. They're not beautiful, but that's the point. Hop over to my Pinterest. You'll see. I'll sometimes change that color background. I have my brand set up in Express to facilitate this looking a little bit different. Don't forget about Pinterest being a really good source of content inspiration. And I'm going to point out some specific things. I just typed in one of my keywords. I should even think like more long tail, like personal branding for coaches. I want you to notice before you even scroll on the page, what comes up. This is what you're up against. So yes, we can put together some pins very quickly in Express. Now this is actually filtered by my pins. Let's go all pins. Okay. So this is giving you a flavor of what's coming up that's being created by other people. I like this kind of infographic idea. Once again, these pins were designed with the intention of taking people off the platform. And so that's cool. I can't guarantee that your pin will get, tons of traffic, viral sensation. But friends, this is a platform I spend the least amount of time on, and have a look, 1.6 million monthly views. Forgot to say that at the beginning. That's down from the last few months, which is sometimes into the several millions of monthly views. I do some months, I hate to admit this, but I'm just being real. Some months I forget to post on Pinterest. I try not to, because it should only take a month, or it should only take an hour every month. But this is why I'm heavily urging you that are putting effort into your social media strategy. Do not forget about Pinterest. We've got some good questions, and I think I've got, 1 minute left? Thanks for the tutorial from WebFan. Question, is there an easier way to organize the pins in groups? Like move them to another group theme instead of doing them one by one? Let's see. I would probably just obviously this project is for today's live stream, but you might do some templates for yourself and then do some variations of those templates for yourself. What I also wanted to show you is when you click this plus sign and you type in Pinterest, you are going to see more than one type of pin. Let's talk about this for the remaining 30 seconds that we have. We've worked today on Pinterest posts, okay? An idea pin, notice the dimensions, 1080 by 1920. It's just like a reel. just like a YouTube short, just like a TikTok. In fact, if you're already creating vertical video, short form content, put it on Pinterest with a hyperlink to wherever you want to take them. Pinterest vertical post, Pinterest square. So Pinterest is less kind of confined to a specific size, although the Pinterest post is typically the best for a static image, 1000 by 1500. We're coming up on time. Please, if I didn't get a chance to answer your question, put it in the comments on this video and I will answer it. I will keep an eye on it. And please do me a favor and start posting on Pinterest. Tag me in your completed designs. I want to see how those remixable templates look by the end of it. And thanks for spending your valuable minutes with me today. Good luck pinning, friends.